Okay, since I've been back, a lot of people have been asking me to share some of the concerts that I went to while I was away. I went to 3 different concerts in 2021, but because my phone always runs out of space, I like deleted all my pictures and videos from it.
You are stupid. You're not smart. You're not smart.
The good news is that I've posted pictures and videos from different concerts that I've went to on my Instagram concert highlights, so feel free to check out those photos and videos on there. One of the concerts I went to in November was BTS's Permission to Dance on Stage in LA at SoFi Stadium. That was definitely the farthest that I've ever traveled for them, but it was so worth it despite what I'm about to tell you.
Period T.
They were amazing. I have not seen them since 2019 and I was losing my mind, and here is the proof.
Your behavior's not okay.
Really?
Yeah, it's not okay.
I got to see Michael Starr, which has been a dream of mine for so long. We got to eat really good food. We stood in line for like 10 hours, but that's just part of the BTS experience.
Oh! Party, yeah.
Seeing BTS is definitely not just going to a concert and going home. It is an event that can span for days. It's crazy. Even Meg showed up one night and y'all.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Before I begin, I just want to say this is my personal experience, and I totally understand if you went and your experience was very different from mine. I have also taken some tweets from other people that told about their experiences, and I'm going to show them in this video. I went November 27th and the 28th, but I've seen tweets of people complaining about how this event was run from the December dates as well, so yikes. SoFi didn't seem to fix some serious issues that were going on even days after I had left LA. And one more thing I have to say is that for me, a lot of the staff were very friendly and they were genuinely just doing their best. They had been put in a situation that was not fair to them. They were not prepared for this kind of event. However, I don't want to discredit anyone else's experience at SoFi. I've seen some things online about staff members that are really nasty, things that the staff members did to other people. I did want to include it in this video. It all started with merch. Merch can either be a hit or miss. It was easy to get in Chicago before the first night, but it was hard to get in Fort Worth in 2018, so I didn't really know what to expect for LA's merch line. The merch line in LA was very long, but to be fair, me and my friends Olivia and Caitlin, we had been gallivanting all day long in LA, so we got there late in the afternoon, which I don't recommend doing because that line gets long hella fast. But you know, we noticed that the line was definitely moving, so we decided to wait it out. We got to listen to BTS rehearse from outside the stadium, and it was really neat, and it honestly made the experience worth it. We were in that line for 10 hours.
No. I said no. You can kill all that right now. Like at this moment, stop.
It had gotten so cold and all of the food places around us were closed, and I got a singular t-shirt because they sold out. Now the staff does have to keep a certain amount of merch, like they can't just sell all of it in the first day obviously, so it's really not, it's just they have to save it for people that are coming on the other days. So even though I was frustrated, I knew that, you know, that's the price that we paid for coming later in the day rather than super early. The only thing that was alarming to me was how complicated K-pop merch is. I feel like a lot of the staff did not know which member was who. If you don't know that, that makes selling merch to BTS fans so much harder. Not their fault. I don't know if they were really like prepared for that, because at most non-K-pop concerts you have, you know, basic merch, t-shirts, sweatshirts, you know, maybe a water bottle, you know, and most K-pop concerts you also have like individual individual member items. I did notice that they actually labeled some of the boxes that had the pickets, for example. They wrote the names of the members on each box, so they knew, okay, this box is for Jungkook, this box is for Suga or Yoongi, whatever. And I think, you know, when they got to a box that didn't have a member's name on it, maybe there was some confusion there. I mean, that would be me. There's 7 of them, you know. For the longest time, I was seeing like 3 Namjoons, 2 J-Hopes in that group, like, you know, I get it. No hate there. But I definitely think it made some issues. My friend Olivia, even though we were like one of the last in line, she still got a Jimin picket. They had no more Suga, they had no more Jungkook, so I think it was very easy for them to kind of oversell certain members. Anyways, that merch situation happens, and it's time for the first show, ladies and gentlemen. And wow, ladies, let me tell you, it's an adventure. We arrived an hour early since we knew that the lines were probably gonna be bad. There's just so many people. You got people flying in from all over the place, including us. We knew it was gonna be intense, so we wanted to allow plenty of time to get into the stadium. I don't remember exactly what gate we were at, but I do know that we were in the 200 sections both nights. And it seemed like a lot of other people were in the same section as us, which would make sense. I mean, it's a big section. We stuck with our gate because we had heard that, you know, you can't choose another gate even if it's shorter, because you have to be at the gate that's on your ticket to be let in. Here is the first major safety issue. There was absolutely no designated line. It was just clumps of people. There were just so many of us, and I'm sitting there thinking, I hope some security get out here to fix this, because one, this was not long after the Astroworld tragedy, so I was very on edge after that had happened, and seeing like a mass amount of people just kind of, you know, chaos was starting to happen, and it made me very anxious. And two, how are all of us going to get in here by 7:30? Unfortunately, someone did get hurt. I believe that they twisted their ankle, and an ambulance actually did show up right in front of me. We had to clear a path for it to get through. And the reason she got hurt was not from people being like rude and pushing and just trying to, you know, cause more chaos. It was genuinely just because there were so many of us that you couldn't really see where you were stepping, and there were steps down, and I believe that she missed a step and got injured as a result. Also, I noticed while we were standing there were only 4 metal detectors at our gate. I think there were probably 3, maybe 4 max staff members at the security checkpoints, and I'm just like, how are we going to do this safely and in time?
I know a lot of things, but I don't know about that.
Thank God everyone around us was so nice, so supportive. We were able to actually get our vaccine cards checked, our ID, our tickets, all that fun stuff, our bags. It was very stressful, but seeing the stadium start to fill up when we got to our seats made me feel a little bit better about the situation. But you know, I wasn't just gonna let it go. I've been to a decent amount of concerts, and I have seen a lot of people at a concert. I mean, that's just to be expected, but it was just very unorganized. Usually you know what line goes where, but you would ask people like, what is this line for? And people wouldn't know. It wasn't until we got back to our Airbnb that night that we realized what was happening outside of the stadium when we got to our seats. Twitter was just a mess. There were countless videos of people just running through the metal detectors, like no bag check, no vaccine card check, absolutely nothing was getting verified. It was so freaky. I mean, the part that scared me the most, obviously it's important to, you know, make sure people are vaccinated and being safe and all that, but I mean, the fact that no bags were checked, no pockets, I mean, if one person in that stadium had bad intentions, it could have went very badly. I am so thankful that that did not happen, but it still freaks me out to think about.
I forgot to mention this as well, but this was also a really big security issue. I'm assuming it was a Sasang jumped over into the actual stadium itself.
So anyways, we're on merch day 2. We woke up super early and Ubered to the venue. SoFi is in Inglewood, which is definitely not the safest area to stay or just travel alone at this hour of the morning. But we walked to one of the entrances we had previously went to the day before, and a cop told us that we needed to use the other entrance entrance. So we had to walk a few blocks, which again, kind of freaky. When we got to the other entrance, we found someone else who was also trying to find the line, and we went in there together. And when we got to the actual merch booth, one of the security there told us we needed to get off the property immediately. My friend Olivia is pretty bold, so she actually showed him tweets saying, oh, well, these people tweeted out that they're in line. Where did you send the line? And he pointed to the outside of the gate, and so we walked back to leave and get in line, but plot twist, we literally got locked inside the venue.
Oh, no, 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 we're not doing this.
So then we had to let another security member know that we needed to get out. And he was like, well, I don't have a key to open the gate. He radioed for someone to come open the gate so we could get out. It was taking a while. We were like, man, we got here so early to be in line, and now it's been like 30 minutes. We're still not in line. The line's just getting longer. So we were gonna walk to the entrance we went to first. As we start walking, someone comes with the key.
Yes!
And they let us out, we get in line. Honestly, the rest of the experience was fun. We got what we needed. It was a good time. I will say though, during the merch experience, there was also, you know, other booths as well. There was individual t-shirts, long sleeve shirts for members, and then there were light sticks, and there was a photo card dispenser. I mean, girl, there was a whole McDonald's truck. I mean, anything you could imagine, it was happening there, you know? But some of those lines would also be very confusing. It was so long, you didn't know where, like, to get in line sometimes, because there were just so many different lines. I mean, at least they were lines, but yeah.
Period T.
I forgot to mention this, but unfortunately another person did get hurt while we were in the merchandise line the second day. I do think they tripped as well. Before I get to the second night of the concert, I want to talk about sound check for a little bit. I didn't have that, of course, but I did read on Twitter that some people experienced some really nasty things that the staff said about them.
I don't know why I didn't talk about this part in the video, but anyways, this doesn't really have to do with just sound check. This just has to do for people getting into the concert in general. But a lot of people with disabilities said that there was a lot of issues with them getting the treatment that they deserved. Here's a bunch of tweets about it, and people were just talking about SoFi's ADA regulations as well, and I did look on their website, and it just seems like some of those things were not accommodated whatsoever at the BTS concert. And here is even a TikTok of someone talking about their own personal experience they went through with their mom at the concert who had disabilities.
Hi friends, I just want to add to the catastrophe that was the disorganization of SoFi Stadium this weekend. So we all already know things got super chaotic, and they were starting to let people in not checking vaccine cards or IDs or bags, and like people were just running in at some of the entrances. Like the staff clearly was not prepared for the amount of people that would be there, even though they had so much time to prepare. Anywho, not the point. So I went with my mother, who is disabled. She has a severe back injury that makes it hard for her to walk for long distances or go up a lot of stairs. And she was wearing her neck brace and everything. We had her disability certificate if for any reason we needed it. And we were asking some staff for help locating the ADA elevators to get around. Basically, 4 of the staff we went up to and asked for help locating the ADA elevators because my mom is disabled. Looked my mom in the face and said, "You don't look disabled to me." And 2 of them kept talking about it as we walked away, about how they didn't think my mom was disabled. It happened twice before the show started with 3 different staff. It was like a group of 2 on one of the occasions. And then right after the show, when we were trying to exit, it happened again, which was super frustrating because it kind of just killed our mood that we had to deal with that.
It really sucks that nasty people like this are working at an event where their whole goal is to make you feel comfortable and keep you safe. It's just gross. So there was a new system in place for night 2, and it was basically where you go through a pre-check. They check your vaccine card, your ID, stuff like that, and you get a wristband to show, okay, I went through all of these checks, so I don't need to do all of this again. So it basically helps everyone get in the venue quicker. SoFi did post about it. Some people said it worked, some people said it didn't really work for them. I don't know what happened. We didn't do the pre-check because we were actually trying to find a locker for our extra things that we couldn't bring in, and no one was working at the locker booth, so that was another very frustrating thing. My friend Olivia walked for so long. There were no maps of where the lockers were.
Yeah, here I am. Here we are. Yes!
So she didn't know where it was, so she walked around for a very long time just to find out that no one was even working there when she went up to the locker booth, so that was very frustrating. We arrived to our gate an hour early though, even if they were doing pre-check, well, we're doing pre-check, you know, because we just were hoping that it would go better, but
Not today. Not today.
it genuinely went worse, unfortunately, the second night for us. Apparently a lot of staff and security had quit because of how crazy the first night was, so it was very understaffed again, and they tried to pull in other certified security people from LA, but it still was just, it just was still not a good time. It was so freaky because people were starting to not listen to the security or any staff members because you'd be told one thing and then maybe 5 minutes later be told something totally different. So it's very confusing, very frustrating. As we're seeing all of this happen, there's no set lines once again, just clusters of people. There's very few metal detectors still, and people just started doing their own thing. I mean, we were told, okay, you need to all shift your line, and then we'd end up in a totally different spot towards more of the back of the line, and then they'd be like, oh, you need to move again because this isn't actually a line. It's not moving. You need to change where you are. Where do we need to go? Because no one seems to know. No one has an answer. I think Olivia really is the reason that we got into SoFi Stadium, because there was a guy that came up to us in a suit, and I have no idea why he was dressed up. I don't know who he was or why he was there, but he was asking us what was going on, why was everyone so upset, and Olivia said, she said it a little more explicitly, but I'll tone it down for YouTube's sake. Ooh! She basically let him know that she had been to many concerts before and had never experienced something as chaotic and unprofessional and just overall unorganized as this, and that she was very frustrated and she was just trying to get in, and she needed to know, you know, is there any way that we can change like what line we are in or something so we can get in? And he said, yes. Yes! You can go to a different gate.
Oh my God!
The gate that we ended up going to, the line was so much shorter, and it was a real line. I mean, it was a line and it was moving. People were getting in. I was just amazed. I didn't know how the communication was so bad that staff members couldn't send people in these really long, just non-moving lines to a different gate to get everyone in at least. It would have been safer. I mean, people could have still got everything checked. Anything to spread out the mass amount of people that had gathered at one spot to create less chaos and injuries, you know? A whole fire department showed up at one point. I don't even know why they were there. I don't know what happened, but I do remember seeing that before I got into the other line. Okay. So yeah, we probably got in 5 minutes before 7:30, being totally real. I couldn't help but think about all the people that were still in line that didn't know they could go to a different gate because all the staff at that gate didn't know. I don't know who the guy in the suit was, but thanks, because no one else knew what to do, apparently. So the concert was amazing, you know. It was great. Leaving the stadium that night, oh my. I saw this tweet and yeah, basically. I mean, I had heard that leaving the Forum in LA was bad, but we did not get home. I think it honestly was 4 in the morning. So many canceled Ubers, SoFi staff like forcing us off the property, which I get, you know, you have to move some people like to different areas so that way Ubers aren't gathering in like the same spot where other people that have parked are trying to leave. Like, I get that, but even when we left the stadium, we still couldn't get an Uber, you know, and the Wi-Fi was really bad. It's a new stadium, you know, it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful stadium. It was just really frustrating that, you know, the Wi-Fi wasn't reliable. It just went on and on. It was really unsafe to be out there at those times. Everyone was just like lost at what to do, even people that lived there. And a lot of the reasons the Ubers canceled is because of how bad the traffic was, which obviously traffic's gonna be bad at a concert, but it was at the point where people were sitting in parking lots for hours and armies literally got out and directed traffic with their light sticks. I mean, I can't make it up. I just can't make it up, ladies and gentlemen.
타셔야 돼요.
좀 앞에 가서 서 있다고 해.
앞쪽으로 가서 서 있을게요.
The concert itself, amazing, wouldn't change anything about it, but the experience leading up to getting in and leaving that concert, I still hear Permission to Dance, like that instrumental, and I get chills, you know what I mean?
Like, it's not the vibe. Stop!
Not really sure what else to say after all of that. Thank you for watching, and SoFi, get it together, please. Let's make the Super Bowl better and not take someone's snacks who is diabetic. I hope you guys never have an experience like this, or if you went to these show dates, I really hope that it was better for you, but if not, I hope it never happens again. I don't regret going once again, but SoFi definitely disappointed me, and I wanted to make a video about this. They definitely need to make some big changes to improve in the future, because the stadium itself has a lot of potential as far as like the overall appearance of it. Let me know if you had an experience like this in the comments. If you went, please feel free to tell me about your experience seeing them, and I will see you guys next week. Bye guys!